let's proceed to the technique and evidence in literature. Okay, so what are the common techniques that we can use to improve self-help skill of the children with autism spectrum disorder? All right, so there are two approaches in the therapy. So of course, we have family-centered therapy and individual therapy. Okay, so family therapy is referring to the involvement of parent and caregiver and participation of parent or caregiver in the delivery of intervention, while for individual therapy is referring to involving of the only child and therapist in implementing the intervention. Literature suggests that moderate evidence on the effectiveness of family-centered therapy. This is mainly because of the compliance of the parents or caregiver in doing the therapy session to the children, while for the individual therapy with the therapist, literature suggests strong evidence for the effectiveness of the intervention. So of course, individual therapy is over than family therapy. All right. So these are few techniques that we can use to improve self-help skill in children with autism spectrum disorder. Okay, the first one I would like to share with you is video modeling. So video modeling is a very common technique that usually used with children with autism spectrum disorder, and you just need to show a child a videotape of person engaging in target skill. Okay, so we can discuss about video modeling later. All right, and then training. Training is another technique. Training is to teach a multi-step or complex skill using either total task training, backward training, or forward training. So training basically is what I can say is training is actually breaking down a task into small steps, so that it will be easier for the child to accomplish the task. So meaning that in order to use the training, you have to teach the child step by step. Okay. All right. The next one is prompting and feeding. Prompts are used to increase a child to provide a desired response, and feeding is gradually reducing the prompt. So of course, when we prompt the child, and we need to feed the prompt in order to make the child independent. So I will discuss about prompting and feeding in my next slide. Okay, so this is just a surface, so you have no worries if you does not understand this slide. Okay, and the next one is graduated guidance. It's similar to the physical prompting, but it's designed to teach behavior which require physical assistance, and it also named hand over hand technique. So meaning that in performing the task, you put your hand over the child's hand and help the child to perform the task and experience the task. So that is what we call it graduated guidance. And the next one is self-monitoring. So this self-monitoring is advanced skill. It is quite advanced to be applied with children with autism skill, because if you want to use this technique, at least the child should be able to follow instruction, should be able to only have a mild cognitive problem. Okay, and the most common technique that we use in improving self-help skill for the children with autism spectrum disorder is reinforcement. So reinforcement is a reinforcer that increase in the future frequency of that behavior or targeted behavior. Let's say that your target behavior is to ensure that the child should be able to brush her teeth independently. So meaning that that is the target behavior, and you can reinforce or use reinforcer in order to encourage the target behavior. It can be praise, it can be positive word, it can be sticker, it can be token, it can be an activity that the child like. Okay, so we can they have a few classification of reinforcement. Okay, okay, all right. The next strategies or technique that commonly used by the therapists out there is physical exercise. So evidence suggests that uh, children with autism need to participate in swimming, jogging, horseback riding, cycling, weight training, walking, and yoga to improve their social communication skill as well as self-help skill, and of course to prepare themselves for school. Okay, and the next one is co-op. Okay, co-op is an co-op is stand for cognitive orientation to daily occupational performance. This is an individualized family and client-centered approach that use guided problem solving to assist the children and used to acquire generalize and transfer the skill. Okay, for the co-op, the therapists need to be trained in using the co-op because before they can use the co-op. Actually, I'm in the midst of in the process of in the process for the certification in co-op. So at the moment, I just passed level 1 and level 2, and I'm still working on level 3 and level 4. Okay, so in the co-op, they teach the child on goal, plan, do, and check. This is the global strategy that is used in the co-op. So when let's say that the child choose to be independent in toothbrushing, so the goal of course toothbrushing, and then the plan is how the child plan to perform the activity, and the child then need to do it, and the child need to check it whether he or she able to do it. Okay, why we co-op is very difficult to be applied with the children, because of course in using the co-op, the prerequisite skill of the children, they need to at least have a good cognitive function and should be able to follow instruction, meaning that co-op is not suitable for those children with profound or with severe IQ level. Okay. All right. The next one is OT sensory integration. This is a common technique that are used by occupational therapists out there, and I believe that there's a lot of OT applying this technique to the children with autism spectrum disorder. It is a manualized protocol that can promote decreased assistance needed for the self-help task. Okay, and it is performed in clinic-based intervention and conducted by professional occupational therapists. So this skill cannot be transferable to the parents, because only occupational therapists can do it to the children.